I spent $1,000 on YouTube ads across 5 videos on my channel just to see what would happen. Will the ads get me more views? Will they cause my subscriber count to increase? Will my channel double overnight? We'll get into answering all of those questions and more. Hey everyone, and welcome to FinTech. I've actually been interested in YouTube ads since before I was ever making videos on YouTube. I've actually never clicked on a YouTube ad on purpose. It's always been one of those accidental clicks where suddenly you're in the App Store trying to download some kind of mobile game every time you try to watch a video. So that's always made me wonder how many people are actually clicking on these ads and how effective are they for promoting either a channel or a product. So now that I have my own channel, I figured I could test it out by taking actual YouTube videos that I have on my channel and then promoting them as if they were an ad. So there are actually 2 different types of video ads that you can promote on YouTube. The first are those regular pre-roll and mid-roll ads that you just see while watching a video that you can skip after 5 seconds. These types of ads, when you click on them, are designed to take you to some kind of product on an external site. The other types of ads are ads promoted in the sidebar. These are usually used to promote longer types of videos that might actually capture a user's attention, and you're just boosting them up to basically like the top of the suggested section. So for this particular experiment where I'm personally trying to push my own videos, using these sidebar types of ads is going to give me the greatest watch time increase by actually pushing these to people as if they were suggested videos. So you might be wondering, hang on, where did you get $1,000 to just throw into YouTube ads? Well, to be honest, it was not $1,000 of my own money. I partnered with this company which basically aggregates a bunch of financial services apps, and then I just produced 5 videos which offered my review on the different apps that they had on their platform. They then put $200 behind YouTube ads for each of these individual videos to push them out to a wider audience, both to get the videos a little bit more traction as well as to obviously drive traffic to their website. This worked great for me because I basically got a free $1,000 to experiment with YouTube ads without it actually being income to me. So what was the strategy used for actually promoting these ads? Well, there was $200 put behind each individual video, and then that $200 was spread out over a 1-week time period. So every time a video is pushed and actually shown to somebody, that costs you a little bit of money. And how much that is determined by the CPV, or cost per view. That can depend a lot based on who the person you're showing it is and what their demographic is. Using this strategy, I would publish 1 video every week, and then a few days after I published the video, we would start promoting the video using YouTube ads and see how much it affected the views, the subscribers, as well as just the channel in general. Now, to be honest, I was a little bit worried about doing this because ads are really annoying, and I was kind of worried that people would see those ads as the first impression of my channel and then would just hate everything that I made after that. But let's try it anyway. So we can start out by looking at the total views that my channel got and kind of see how the YouTube ads affected those totals. Now we have here my view total over a 90-day period, and you can see that it was generally pretty stable with these huge spikes here going as high as 4,000 views a day at one point. These spikes were caused almost 100% by those YouTube ads. So if we just kind of look at the averages here, on an average day I was getting probably 500 to 600 views, and then on a day when the YouTube ads were running, it was closer to 1 to 1,500 views. Now in one case, when this really big spike showed up here, this was because there were actually 2 or even 3 ads running on the different videos that I was working on all at the same time, and so that kind of caused a compounding effect where all the views were adding on top of each other. You can kind of see this last spike here, which was the last video I was promoting on Yield Street, and just that one video alone was getting, it looks like 1,700 to 1,800 views total versus a baseline on my channel of, again, around 500 to 600. So that $200 a day was getting me the difference between those numbers, so probably around 1,000 to 1,300 views per day. Then the question is, what good do those views actually do? Do they help the channel grow in the long term? Do they help you earn more money or gain more subscribers? Well, the answer to that is a little bit less straightforward. So first, let's look at revenue. So if we just look at my normal RPM, this is how much I'm paid on average for 1,000 views. You can see that it was pretty stable for most of January, probably ranging between $6 and $10. And then there are these really big dips right when I was pushing the YouTube ads. So the reason for this is I was getting all those extra views on the videos that were being pushed by YouTube ads, but none of those views were being monetized. So effectively, I was getting less money per 1,000 views. So this really messed up my metrics for this time period here. So it was really hard to tell how much money I was actually earning from videos. To see this at a little more granular level, let's look at one of the actual videos that was being promoted. So right here, we have my review of Yield Street, which is an investing platform. Now this video was being pushed by YouTube ads, and you can see that here in the total views. So when I first launched the video, it was getting some views. It got to around 200 views, and then it absolutely took off when it was actually getting pushed by the YouTube ads. And then as soon as the ads finished, it again basically leveled off. It's still getting probably a couple hundred views, but the vast majority of that growth was caused entirely by the YouTube ads. And with the views increasing, the watch time also increased. Now, if you're not yet monetized and you think that pushing a video in order to get increased watch time might help you hit that 4,000 watch hour limit that you need to get to, that doesn't actually work. This watch time does not count toward your monetization threshold. So unfortunately, that's not a good workaround. The one thing that we did see here with this video in particular is an increase in subscribers caused by the number of people seeing this video. So in total, for the couple days that I had it up before actually pushing the YouTube ads, I only got 2 subscribers from the video. Yet during the time when the ads were pushing really heavily, I managed to get quite a few more, up to 16 subscribers. So in this video's case, those extra views on the video didn't really drive much benefit to this video aside from those subscribers. So you can kind of think of the $200 going directly toward buying those 17 subscribers. That's probably not a great return on investment. And again, like I mentioned earlier, the total revenue really wasn't blown up by this. So the graphs for the views absolutely takes off when the YouTube ads start pushing, but the graph for the total monetization really doesn't increase at all. It's just a linear line, which is probably just from the organic views already coming to this video. And honestly, this line looks kind of similar to the subscriber graph, so I kind of wonder how many of those subscribers would have subscribed anyway, as opposed to because it was pushed by a YouTube ad. And the one last thing, if you want to see like the hard numbers for this, YouTube advertising accounted for almost 94% of the views on this video, 8.3 thousand, while all the other sources accounted for a couple hundred views, mostly from YouTube search. But this is a very specific example. So right here we have a video I did on Robinhood, which was the first one I did for this series, and it was also pushed very heavily by the YouTube ads, and then it basically flattened out after the fact. So pushing this video did not cause it to have continued growth after the fact. And in this case, we did not see a big subscriber growth from putting that money in. In fact, we actually lost a subscriber at the beginning, and then the 2 subscribers that I did gain from this actually happened after the YouTube ads were already stopped running. And if you look at the ad revenue on this video, I basically got no ad revenue during the period when the YouTube ads were actually running. I made $3 in exchange for $200 getting put into the video. And in this case, if we look at the source of the views on this video, you can see this blue line here represents YouTube advertising, and then you have all these colored lines down here that you can barely even see. So YouTube advertising accounted for over 5,000 of the views, and then I got maybe 400 views from all the other sources. So if I look at my subscribers over a 90-day period and kind of switch back and forth between this and the views, there's really no correlation whatsoever between when the actual ads were getting pushed and when I started gaining subscribers. To be honest, it almost seems like when the videos were being pushed, I was gaining fewer subscribers than when I had other videos going out. What seems strange to me is that it really did seem like the Yield Street video, at least, was gaining a little bit of benefit from the YouTube ads. And I think that the reason for that is because of the intro of the video. Have you ever wanted to generate passive income by investing in art, bonds, real estate, used commercial aircraft? Yes, that's literally an option. Then look no further, because Yield Street has your back. So this video at the beginning had a very strong intro which grabs your attention and actually pulls you into the rest of the video. While most of the other videos that were getting promoted were kind of just a straightforward review on it. For example, let's look at the Robinhood intro. Robinhood is one of the largest investing apps in the world with over 13 million users. This is the app which kind of launched the next generation of investing apps that we see popping up all over the place today. So in the first 10 seconds, which of those 2 videos grabs your attention better? The Yield Street one or the Robinhood one? I'd wager it's probably the Yield Street one, and I think that that's really key for a video that's going to get promoted via YouTube ads. It's always important to grab people's attention in probably the first minute of the video, and so if you're going to promote a video via YouTube ads, it needs to have an incredibly strong intro to really pull the viewer in. So what would I do differently in the future? Well, I think that YouTube ads could be a good way to get in front of people if you have an actual product that you're trying to sell. For example, on these videos, if I had been pushing really hard for an affiliate link like WeBull, maybe that would have made up for the fact that a lot of people were seeing the video but then weren't moving from that video to other videos on my channel. I think that if you're pushing YouTube ads with the sole hope of attracting people to your channel and then having those people kind of organically discover the rest of your videos, that's not going to happen. The YouTube algorithm is already really good at finding content which is going to grab people's attention and keep them on the platform. So I think if you have content like that, it's going to grow by itself, and trying to push it with YouTube ads isn't really a hack to get in front of people quicker. Maybe back in the day, the main way to grow on YouTube was just to promote your video a bunch and try to attract people externally. But really at this point, because the YouTube algorithm is so powerful, I really think that getting on the good side of that algorithm is the key to growth. So if I were to redo this experiment, I would 1, have a product that I'm trying to promote, and 2, make sure I have a really solid intro. But that being said, I think it was a good experiment and a good learning experience, and hopefully you're able to take something away from this experience as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.